up in journey now. So we're getting close to action in the first here at Wyong. Stand by for a start. Gates are back. They're off and racing. Casablanca Express missed the kick. Now let's look for the favourite, Just Party in the pink jacket. It settles about third. Noises burst on the scene. Bengal was there, drifting back as Lagano now takes the lead. And Just Party races to third, followed by Thunderous and Bengal just slipping in looking for cover. They're followed then by Regularity. A length and a half then to Ras 2, 3 lengths further back to Akami Star, and Casablanca Express is last of all. So Lagano in front from Noises, a half length between the pair. Just Party with cover on the outside of Thunderous, a length and a half to Bengal. Then came a Regularity. 2 further back to Ras and a decent gap to the other 2. Down the side of the 600 metres, Lagano in front narrowly from Noises, then Thunderous. Just Party given every hope with cover today. They're followed a length and a half further back to Bengal, just being revved up and trying to start a run with the favourite who pulls out now. 400 metres to go. Lagano beat off Noises. Just Party quickly looms on the outside of the front runner. Bengal under a vigorous ride wants to hang out around the turn. Just Party moved up to join Lagano in the lead. 2 lengths away to Bengal as Just Party pokes the head in front now, and Just Party gets the upper hand for Lagano. They're well clear from the rest. Good go for third, but Just Party's going to win the opening race by a length. Lagano's second. Rasp has been a very good run at the end third. Akami Star warmed up late into fourth. Further back to a Regularity. Bengal didn't close off. Then came Thunderous from Noises, and Casablanca Express was last all the way.
Yeah, and I don't think we should sleep on the ride either. It's easy to forget that when you're on a $1.30 pop. But Tim Clark from Barrier 7 able to settle in the 1-1 and push the button at the right time, which is all important here at Wyong. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. You know, he got the job done. You wouldn't say he was super impressive, but he got the job done. He's still learning. Led up the other day. Today he took the sit. Getting around the corner, the track looked a little bit tight for him. The road out 3 metres, but got the job done, and nice little horse. And you know, old cliche, whatever he does now will be a hell of a lot better 3-year-old.
It's nice as well to see that versatility, that he doesn't necessarily need to find the rail, lead and win. It was a nice run to find the 1-1 there from 7.
He's quite a character at home, you know, you never know he's there, you would never know he's a colt. Great nature, and I do reckon later on he'll have headgear. We won't be in a hurry to put that on him, but I reckon he's a nice horse. He's probably super staying in Justified, have a Group 1 winning mare, and he only cost $110,000, so he was okay. When I say only, it was $110,000 at Easter. He's quite a good buy.
No, that looks like pretty good value now. Well done.
Tim, you aboard him on debut and he got the job done second race start.
Yeah, he's a neat little horse, and I feel that he's going to work his way through the grades nicely. He was just a pretty short turnaround from his first run. I said to Joe, I reckon if this race was next week, he would have won with a bit more authority, but look, it's good to see him get on the board after a really encouraging debut run, and as I said, he's a horse that he's going to go through the grades.
We touched on the fact that he's got a beautiful attitude. That'll help him a long way.
Yeah, definitely. He's a lovely little horse to ride, and he's quite strong. He's got a good demeanour about him, and as you said, that'll help him along the way.
Track?
Beautiful. Start the day on a good 4, a little bit of rain about, but the course is presenting in great order.
Thanks, Tim.
Cheers.
Ready to run. Race 2, Wyong and the Rough, and Ravenclaw jumped well. Remia was nicely into stride. Never Joking going forward, so Empress of Wonder will take a sit behind the leading division. Couple off to Hoo-Ha, and no speed at all by Summer Soiree. Karsnar races to the lead. Never Joking to second. Ravenclaw whipping up on the outside going forward, followed by Remia and the second favourite Empress of Wonder in the orange jacket running 5th. They're followed by Hoo-Ha and 2.5 off to Summer Soiree. Pace pretty steady at the 600 metres. Karsnar, a narrow leader from Ravenclaw, is in a controlling position on the outside. Then came Never Joking, positioned on the inside running rail on the inside of Remia. Then Empress of Wonder first up for a year. Hoo-Ha and Summer Soiree are the last 2. Inside the 400 metres, and they come around the turn. Karsnar under plenty of pressure. McDonald sits very quietly on the short favourite Ravenclaw, and now Ravenclaw is given his head at the 200 metres and darts 2 lengths clear. Empress of Wonder is a good margin him back, trying to get into second. But this is the best of Ravenclaw today, and some nice pocket money for James McDonald. Breaks the maiden Ravenclaw in style by 3. Karsnar held down in second in front of Empress of Wonder. A gap to Summer Soiree, who warmed up at the end. Then Never Joking, Hoo Ha and Remia.
But Ravenclaw was fantastic there, Chris, representing the Chris Wallace stable. Looked very comfortable a long way.
No, it was a nice watch. That was. He's obviously been knocking on the door for the last 3 or 4 runs. He doesn't like it, even though it looked easy today. He looks like a pretty tricky ride. He's got that short, sharp sprint. So I don't know. Maybe Wyong with this easy running was ideal for him.
So we saw earlier on this preparation knocking on the door. Second at Canterbury, second Kenzo, the lead up to today. So the win finally gets ticked off. We're 6 runs in. Is there upside left this prep, do you think?
Well, he's a fit, a happy horse. He's been working extremely well at home. I think he's obviously going to gain a lot of confidence from that run. I'll let Chris and Charlie assess the run, and I reckon if we go home and he puts his hand up, we'll give him a better challenge.
Okay. Last one. Saturday, you must be excited. Out of all the runners from the stable, who are you most excited to see?
Well, obviously Switzerland. He's drawn a dream barrier, I think. It's going to be a great race to watch. They're going to go out to Scouter, and he's just going to sit back and smoke his cigar and hopefully be there in the finish.
Your first sit on this fella, it was a nice easy win.
Yeah, it was. He felt really good there. He definitely nice progressive. Obviously, he's a confident sort of horse. He travelled into the straight really well. He adapted to this tight circumference beautifully, and I think that was the big positive for him.
Do you think this track's going to deteriorate? A few of the boys have a bit of mud on them.
Yeah, it's soft 5 already. Wouldn't be a good 4 though.
Racing now. And Piraeus jumped out fairly well. Pharaoh's Reign from the wide gate was clearly first into stride and is sailing to about a length and a half lead. Sky Up poking through. Piraeus handy. Double Cherry there on the rails. Queen Maker taken back from Funambulist, and Nordic Pride's last of all. Sky Up's booted up here on the inside of Pharaoh's Pride. It wasn't overly pushed. Jumped really well, Pharaoh's Pride, but Sky Up's going to take up the running now from Pharaoh's Reign, and Double Cherry strides into a clear third. A gap of 3 lengths has opened up on the rest. Piraeus goes to 4th now on the outside of Funambulist. Then came Queen Maker under restraint, and Nordic Pride sees them all. They've got about 14.50 to go. Sky Out bowling along in the lead. It's Sky Out a clear-cut leader from Pharaoh's Reign going to second. Double Cherry plonks third on the rails. 2 further back to Piraeus. Then came Funambulist. A length and a half to Queen Maker, and 2 after Nordic Pride at the rear. So Sky Out heads them to the back section of the course now. 3/4 in front to Pharaoh's Reign. Then came Double Cherry. Piraeus travelling up on the bridle today in 4th, clear from Funambulist. Then Queen Maker, and still 2 lengths away to Nordic Pride. So they go inside the 1,000 metres now, and Sky Out looking to make all. Sky Out leads by 3/4 to Pharaoh's Reign. Then Double Cherry from Piraeus travelling so much better in the run today. Further back to Funambulist. Queen Maker pulling 3 wide to start a run. Nordic Pride sackbat last. So they race down the side. It's Sky Out in front from Pharaoh's Reign. Now both Piraeus and Queen Maker start their runs at the 600 metres. So they've gone a long way from home here. It's certainly got Sky Out off the bridle. It's yielding ground. Nordic Pride tracking up well going to 4th. Then Double Cherry. Sky Out's flat out like a lizard coming to the bend, and Funambulist trying to start a run. So Queen Maker and Piraeus, they go on with a job here, slogging it out, coming around the turn. Piraeus on the inside of Queen Maker, and a length further back to Nordic Pride wide out. It's Piraeus beating off Queen Maker. Then Nordic Pride and Double Cherry. Piraeus 2 lengths clear inside the 100 from Nordic Pride, who's putting in a big dip, and Double Cherry through the middle. I popped them, Double Cherry. At odds, Double Cherry's got up to beat either Nordic Pride or Piraeus. They beat off Queen Maker, then Funambulist from Pharaoh's Reign, and Sky Out has finished tailed off.
We spoke a couple of races back, Annabelle, pre-race, and we hoped today we would see something. Well, we did.
Yeah, we had a big cheer then. It's like we'd won a Group 1 with Carl and Christine and the team that own him, because they've all been really patient with him. Carl actually raced him in England and kept his stake when he came out here, and he was running really well and winning big handicaps there. So he's It's taken a long time for me to figure out, but hopefully he's one of those horses, you know, now he's got his head in front, hopefully he can go on with it, because he's got ability. As I said, he's got form around and has beaten post-impressionists who we're seeing in the markets for these better races. So we needed to see him do that today. We knew he had the ability to do so, but hopefully he can go on with it now.
Did you bring him over with sort of Group 1 aspirations, races like Sydney Cups and those sort of things at the staying trip?
Oh, probably. You know, he was a nice stayer. He hadn't run in any stakes races over there, but we thought he looked like a progressive staying type. Look, I suppose we probably were dreaming of those sort of races, but we're a long way off those. We won't get too ahead of ourselves, but you know, he's certainly got ability. We actually popped him over a few jumps earlier in the week, because I thought if he doesn't show up here, he might be having to head down to Warrnambool. But look, maybe that's done the job, just doing something a bit different with him. But good job by the team, because he's been a frustrating horse. But yeah, finally got his head in front today.
It's amazing how often the jumps wake him up. Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Annabelle. Over to you, Shani, with Tom Sherry.
Tom, well done. Did he always travel like the winner? Did he feel like that?
Yeah, he surprisingly, sort of watching his replays, I didn't think he would have travelled as well as he did today. But I was a bit urgent on him out of barrier just to let him know it was race day, and afterwards he travelled really kindly throughout. I was a touch worried sort of coming at the 800 when I didn't have a whole lot of room to go, but lucky enough I had enough horse to sort of build a bit of momentum, and he was sort of doing his best work through the line. The more I asked, the more he offered, and he was good late.
I know you don't know him, but does he give you the feel that he could be a nice stayer now that he's made it over here to Sydney?
Yeah, for sure. He moves brilliantly, and I think the way he raced today, he'd even appreciate a bigger track, and I couldn't see why we couldn't see him Saturday great.
Well done, Tom.
Cheers.
Racing now, and Eclipsion given a dig up out of the gate. So was Hartman the outside looking for the early lead, and Hartman gets it from Eclipsion. Wide out Curvette going forward along with Kataishi, and they're followed just behind the speed then to Icebreaker as Eclipsion comes away from the rails in the early part. Further back to Automation, then Bright Red from Blacklist is going to settle second last, and Tavarotti's last of all. So they work to the back, and Hartman after the rev up out of the gate led by 2 lengths to Curvette. Icebreaker railing to third inside Kataishi, and Eclipsion from barrier 1 is back running fifth, one off the fence as Bright Red pushes through. Automation not far away, and a gap to Blacklist and Tavarotti. So Hartman a nice leader as they race down the side of the course now. Hartman by 2 lengths on Curvette, then Icebreaker from Kataishi. Eclipsion next up on the outside of Bright Red. 2 further back to the post-time favourite Automation. Tavarotti starting a run on the rails, and Blacklist is back last but pulling wide. So Automation, the favourite's been shuffled back to last now. It's Hartman in front by a length to Curvette. Make it 3/4 of a length. Eclipsion gets going. Followed then by between them Kataishi, Icebreaker on the rails as things really start to hot up. Automation still back second last as Blacklist is midfield. It's Hartman just in front from Curvette, Kataishi, Eclipsion down the outside. Blacklist, Bright Red. Automation's in a dead end. It's an ugly watch there. Hartman in front of Curvette is knuckling down the outside. Curvette's going after Hartman. Hartman, Curvette, Bright Red flashing home on the outside and got up. Bright Red from nowhere. Bright Red got up to nick it, knocking off Hartman and Curvette. Followed then by Kataishi, the grey Icebreaker, Automation. Oh, that nothing went right there in the run. Eclipsion, the market got that right. Blacklist never a factor, and Tavarotti.
What a win, coming from well last, and that's a big jump up in trip too. Second up, it was a big ask, but delivered.
No, it was a nice watch today. She got a great ride from Kieran, and that was always planned to go back and then just put her through her gears late on up the straight. She's a horse we obviously had quite a lot of opinion of when she was younger. She's just taken a lot of time to mature and strengthen up, but her last run was super. There's a lot of form around that, so it was a nice win, but it wasn't a surprise.
Okay, we saw her out to the 2,000 metres last preparation, so there's a lot of room to move here too.
I'd say so, yeah. She's quite adaptable because she relaxes quite well in her races, and if she can produce that turn of foot over them longer distances, it's not going to be the last race she wins anyway.
Okay, Hartman's now up to 8 starts without a win, but that was a really good run, just bloused by the stablemate late.
Yeah, Hartman is his own worst enemy. He goes quite keen in his races, so we tried a different tactic today. We tried to use his natural galloping gait and lead. We didn't get it today, but a win won't be too far away.
Karen rode this filly first up. Karen, she was jumping 12 to the 16, but she needed every part of that today.
Yeah, we sort of went back on the rail there, Shani, but it didn't surprise me to see her do that. She's come back in really good order and probably strengthened a bit. She ran really well first up over 1200. On the day at Roseville when it was quite leaderish, so up in trip was the concern, but Chris had her fit enough, and yeah, she was really good the last furlong.
And she'll continue to step out now?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, being that little bit stronger, she could probably go out in trip a little bit, but I think she's improved a bit, so there's more to come from her.
And the light is on. Ready to go, they're off and racing now, and Tycoon Jenny given a real rev up out of the gates by Regan Bayliss, so she's trying to muster. Pretty handy is Vadamos Queen towards the inside as Tycoon Jenny rolls on with the job. Pajanti on the scene goes to a clear second, followed by Vadamos Queen. Then Destiny's Delight in front of Selfless Act, a couple off then to Flying Beale, Disney Castle, and the roughie is falling down a dozen off the lead last of all. So Tycoon Jenny, an undisputed lead by 2 on Pajanti, firing up a bit in second of the 800 metres. A couple off to Vadamos Queen, Destiny's Delight fourth on the rails, Selfless Act fifth, one off the rails. They're followed after 2 lengths then to Flying Beale, who's positioned down on the rails from Disney Castle, and 2 lengths to his falling down. The leader here is Tycoon Jenny after the sharp start, 2 in front to Pajanti. Vadamos Queen travelling strongly in third from Destiny's Delight, Selfless Act. Disney Castle peeling wide, starting a run as they get onto the circle now, and Tycoon Jenny asked to go faster by Bayliss as they turn for home. Tycoon Jenny in front by a length on Pajanti. Then Disney Castle down the outside. Tycoon Jenny's a narrow leader. Down the outside, Selfless Act with a big finish. Pajanti through the middle. It's Pajanti, Selfless Act wide out. Pajanti won it a half length. Photo for the miners with Vadamos Queen and Selfless Act wide out. They got to Tycoon Jenny. Then came Destiny's Delight from Disney Castle and is falling down along with Flying Beale.
There's a high opinion of this girl. There was early, and hopefully she's starting to frank that. Sterling, good to see you. Got both sides of the combination today, but she's got a bit, this girl.
Yeah, she has. As you said, she's always shown a bit. She's always shown a bit in the trials, and she's starting to mature a bit now as a filly. So, you know, we might look to step it up for her again.
Her last visit to Wyong was very early days. In fact, it might have even been the debut run. She was ridden particularly cold that day. Where do you think she's best in settling today? Leaders back?
Look, I think she's not great out of the machines, but Tim's done a good job to sort of get her on speed. She doesn't have a terrific turn of foot, but she sort of builds through her gears and can maintain it. As you mentioned Wyong there, that was probably our fault. We probably run her in the wrong race, but you know, but she's a filly with the future and a bit of upside to her.
I only say it as a man who hurt his hip pocket that day, so I shouldn't be lamenting past losses. She was fantastic today. Any race in mind for her?
No, we'll see how some of the fillies come up over the back end of the carnival, and yeah, we'll just see what sits best with her.
Tim, you rode her first up. She's taken that nice improvement. Never easy to go from maiden straight to benchmark, but she's done it nicely.
Yeah, especially against the older mares too. So, no, credit to her. Feel that the penny's starting to drop with her now. She's always shown sort of a little bit of promise, but yeah, I think this time in, she's starting to really get the hang of it.
In terms of distance, do you think that sees her out?
Look, wouldn't be saying that in time she'll get a little bit further, but I reckon around that 7 furlong mark is probably around her sweet spot. But yeah, nice to get a couple of winners for Gerald and Sterling.
Well done.
Thanks.
Ready to go. Race 6 on the card at Wyong, and the gates are back there. Off and racing. True Crime left the gates quite well from the wide draw. Starman was out okay. Ebony King just going back by the looks of it. Yumbe handy together with McHale, but True Crime's going to roll across and take the lead clearly. And Wind Shadow whizzes up to second, trucking along. Followed by Yumbe third, then came McHale. Starman drifting back in the field from General Soho. Ebony King gets right back and sits on the outside of Serati. So True Crime, the leader, out by a length on the long price Yung Bay. And Wind Shadow has been a big drifter in the market, third. McHale a length and a half away, fourth. Then Starman from General Soho. Serati out deep on the outside of Ebony King. True Crime down the side of the 600. True Crime a half in front to Yung Bay. 2 off to Wind Shadow on the outside of McHale. Starman peeling 3 wide now, being wound up. General Soho back in the field, not travelling well. Then Serati trying to improve, and Ebony King's got it all to do. Last and wide around the corner. True Crime a narrow leader from Yung Bay. Wind Shadow and Starman shown the stick, pulling to the outside. McHale is slicing through near the inside. True Crime races to the lead, but McHale's on the scene quickly. And McHale moved up to True Crime, darts away, then Starman Serati late, but McHale goes back to back. The gelding's certainly been the making of him. McHale ran down True Crime, Starman third, then Serati, further back General Soho from Yung Bay, Wind Shadow, Ebony King, never a factor, always last.
Well, the gelding op has been the making of this guy, no doubt.
Yeah, 100%. It's quite often the case, isn't it, with these unruly lads, but that was a nice watch today. Delighted for Denise and her team, and they've stuck patient with him, and he's repaid them pretty well today.
He's the sort of horse where it's always going to be a tough watch. He needs to be coiled up, but as it turns out, there was a gap as wide as you could possibly imagine. He still needs to be able to take it and surge clear. He did that. It's a good turn of foot.
Yeah, 100%. Like, he's one of them horses. He is a tricky horse to ride. So today we sort of gave Tommy not many instructions and just sort of played it by ear, and he was able to navigate that and put him in clear room, and he did the job really well.
Well done, Tom. I know you rode him last preparation. Do you think he's changed now that he's a gelding?
Yeah, he definitely has. His attitude's a lot better, and great for Catherine and Oliver. They put a lot of money into racing. They're a great supporter of Chris's and his team, so it was nice for them to get another winner. I used to ride a horse called Religify for him and had a fair bit of luck on him, but it's amazing what happens when you take that away from them. They just they settle down a little bit. He's definitely up to Saturday class. Not sure whether it's this time of year, because as we know, they're very tough racing now on Saturdays, but you know, as he gets into the winter months, he could be a horse that goes up to Queensland, but he's going through his grades nicely.
Well done, Tom.
Cheers.
So stand by for a start on the Turf Care Australia Dash over 1,000 metres. Racing now, no statement anticipated the start brilliantly, and lands a length and a half in front. Plenty charging through. Fire Lane, once again my girl, positions up well, and Remedies out deep. Then Sir Ravanelli, followed further back by Zuccarino. A length and a half, Defiant Heart, La Melody. Stanislaus looks to be a bit deep. Then came Negotiation second last, as Stanislaus snatched up there, and Curtis Island is the last one. No statement, shoots away down the side by 4 lengths. Fire Lane does the chasing, the favourite third, once again my girl. Remedies being reined along in fourth, the gap to Ravanelli. Further back to Zuccarino, then La Melody from Stanislaus, Defiant Heart, and Negotiations gives away a big start, but no statement after the sharp start. Molly Burke's trying to pinch this. No statement, still 4 in front. Once again my girl, 3 lengths away, knuckling down, but no statement's got an unassailable lead, and no statement after the brilliant start's going to lead all the way. Margin a length and a half at the post. From once again my girl, a gap back to Sir Ravanelli third. Then came Remedies from La Melody, Stanislaus, Fire Lane, Curtis Island, Negotiation, Zuccarino, and Defiant Heart was last, and Molly Burke has dead set pants them there in race 7.
Well, an upset to many, $92 on the local tote, but not an upset to you, I'm guessing.
Not an upset at all. 100 to 1, I just went for it, and then I went down to 81 and 61. Too late, I got you.
You certainly did get us. Well played to you. You'll be counting cash the whole way home, but beautiful ride by Molly as well.
What about them tipsters, you know? I will never employ them as my financial advisors, never.
We might be advertising. You're keen for a job.
No, I'm not begging you guys, you know. So, anyway, that's how it is.
You should be thanking us. If we found it, you wouldn't have got triple figures.
You're right there. You're right there. No, you keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, Molly was brilliant there.
She knows the horse, and she rides it. That's the fifth win on her. So she knows the horse, and no one else could have done what she done. So confidence. He's a very fast horse, so took a break. you just couldn't catch him.
Well, congratulations. He's just one of these horses that you just let him run and he just keeps going.
Oh, isn't he what? He's been a great horse to me. That's my 5th win on him, and yeah, he's been so special to me. I know him like the back of my hand now, and when he's on the toe like he was today, you know, you just don't hold him up. You let him do him and he'll just outrun him any day, and he's a great old horse.
Did you think they were going to run you down? Because they were a fair way off you.
Nah, well, I knew that up against his company, his only way is he'll outstay them any day over a sprint trip like that. So once he jumped like he did, I thought there's no holding him up, no giving him a breather, because that's just how he loves to run, and it's basically catch me if you can, and it's his best way.
He's kid to him the whole way.
Yeah, exactly. I let him take the reins and he does the job for me. He's a great horse.
Good job, Mum.
Thank you.
Locked and loaded. There's the light for the last here at Wyong. Gates are back. They're off and racing. No real speed by One Destiny, and Laviro began sharply wide out from Balkans on the scene. Then Yiska, One Destiny improving, and Zoo Princess slicing through the pack. Now Commemorative about midfield and the outside of Proverbial. Then Pandano from Silvanito and 2 lengths to and again. Balkans is pushing through on the inside of Laviro. Zoo Prince goes to a clear third. One off the fence around One Destiny. Yiska just had to snatch up for a stride as Commemorative whips up on the outside. Proverbial there on the rails. 2 for the back to Silvanito and again. Pandano drop back to last. Laviro up on the outside of Balkans. The pair going stride for stride. Commemorative moves to third now on a wide path on the outside of Zoo Prince. Then One Destiny. Yiska moves up. Silvanito deeper out. Then came Proverbial from Anagan, and Pandano is the last one. Around the corner it's Balkans under siege. Balkans just in front, joined by Commemorative, and on the outside is Silvanito, and again down the outside, and then came Yiska, but Commemorative has burst clear. Commemorative, the last favourite, 2 lengths clear, and Commemorative, despite the wide trip, is way too good, beating Silvanito. Photo for third, give it to an again, just in front of Yiska. Then came Proverbial, a gap in the field to Laviro from Balkan. Zoo Prince weakened out from One Destiny and Pandano.
Congratulations to you and the team, Darren. Fantastic performance, and she didn't have it all her own way, but was miles too good for them.
Yeah, she had a little bit of class on the side, and she's actually leaving the gates for a big filly. You know, she's well over 16 hands, and she got into stride quite nicely. She has a barrier extension on. She's leaving the gates a lot better and getting into a stride nicely. And when James was able to just pop it 3 deep and just keep her rolling, keep it smooth, and let her use her action, she won with a lot of authority.
Is a race like the Arrowfield where she's got a nomination out of the question?
Oh, you might be able to get on the selection panel of where they should be running, the programming committee.
It'd have to be a mighty big committee for me to get on there. Well done.
Thank you.
How do you think she's come back?
She's come back a lot better than she left anyway. She was just tried to get her to run a mile, and she's quite a sharp filly, and she probably wasn't. It's not saying she won't get a mile in time, but she just was doing completely upside down. But that time of year, obviously there's good fillies races, and it was worth a crack. But she's come back much better in terms of relaxed, keeping it smooth. She'll have a really good prep, having a confidence boosting run like that.
Obviously a track like Wyong's not her go, but you're just able to get on the back of one and just keep her out of harm's way.
Well, I was just, after the last race, I wanted to keep it pretty smooth, so I kept her out of trouble.
Well done.
Thanks.